Beacon, the Bright Little Firefly, written by Troiano, illustrated by Banta. Did you know that fireflies love the 4th of July? It's true, they do. Here's the reason why. They believe all the fireworks they see in the sky are really giant fireflies flying by. It all began a long time ago when a firefly named Beacon chose not to glow. You see, fireflies had a rule they all had to obey. Every firefly had to glow exactly the same way. First on, and then off, then count to 10. Then on, then off, then start over again. Each firefly going along with the crowd because glowing your own way just wasn't allowed. But Beacon marched to a different drum. He thought flashing your taillight ought to be fun. He believed every firefly should have the right to decide when and where to light its light. So one night in the meadow, when it was time to glow, Beacon turned off his light and just said no. And every other firefly shut his or her light, because Beacon turned his on extra bright. It got so confusing that before very long, every firefly in the sky was flashing all wrong. They started to argue, then they started to fight about who was lit wrong and who was lit right. But they all knew who started the trouble that night, so Beacon was grounded. He had to shut off his light. But he knew he was right. He knew it through and through. And after that 4th of July, everyone else knew it too. The Holiday Hill Farm fireworks display takes place down in the meadow each Independence Day. Family and friends gather around and spread bed sheets and blankets all over the ground. Then they ooh and they ah at the rocket's red glare and stare up at the colors that burst in the air. But that night, when rain clouds came rolling by, they had to stop all the fireworks on the 4th of July. Beacon the Firefly was sitting nearby when a pretty little girl began to cry. He knew it was time to shine his light and prove once and for all that he was right. He flew through the crowd, he flew high, he flew low. He flew onto that little girl's nose and started to glow. Then he flew to the next boy and girl down the road and performed his own little fireworks show. He started out flashing 2 dots and a dash. Then he flickered a little quicker, dot, dot, dash, dot, dash. Soon every child in every row was watching Beacon, the bright little firefly, put on a show. The other fireflies realized that Beacon was right. Every firefly should be free to light his or her light whenever they want, no counting to 10, no flashing the same way again and again. Then one by one, by one by one, they flew over to Beacon and joined in the fun. And for the finale, Beacon knew just what to do. He flew through the raspberries and blueberries too. Then he flew back to the meadow covered in goo and turned on his light. It was red, white, and blue. The children all cheered as Beacon flew by, proudly flashing his taillight that 4th of July. And he was the happiest firefly you ever did see, in the home of the brave and the land of the free. The next time you see fireworks high in the sky, imagine that they're Beacon and his friends flying by. And remember, freedom to Beacon meant be who you are. You can glow soft and low, or you can shine like a star. But whichever you choose and whatever you do, the choice that you choose should be chosen by you. And if you forget, don't get upset. Look out your window on a hot summer night and watch how differently each firefly lights its light.